Hello, everybody. This is Alan Devlin here with Atlanta News First. I want to make sure my audio levels are good and that you guys can hear me. So I'm going to chat with my web producer really quick here and make sure, because what I don't have, good to go. All right. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me here this fine Monday, the first day of April. Let me readjust this camera really quick because it looks kind of weird. My bad. I'm sitting here reading stuff that's got A's in it saying April when it's actually, there we go, first day of May, I was going to say. Welcome. It's been a weird start to the month weather-wise. We're kind of dealing with some pretty cold temperatures when you consider that it is May and we're right at the beginning of what should be, a beautiful spring season that will then fall into summer. Things are supposed to be hot right now, not in Atlanta. It's cold and it's windy. Meteorologist Patrick Pete's going to come talk to us here in a little bit about that. In the meantime, there are 3 stories that I want to walk you guys through and share with you here really quickly regarding what's going down in Atlanta. We're going to start off with a story we've been covering here for a while now, about a year almost pretty much, dealing with this Doraville police officer, ex-Doraville police officer, Miles Bryant. He was denied bond today in that homicide investigation when it comes to 16-year-old Susanna Morales. Now, this is a tough story to talk about. Susanna, just 16 years old when she went missing in July of 2022. This is that ex-Doraville police officer, Miles Bryant, charged in Susanna's death. Now, what we do know at this time is that Susanna was out walking one day, and police have been able to track down this officer as the man they believe is responsible for her disappearance back in July of last year. Her cell phone was pinged, and then immediately while she was walking started going 40 miles an hour, insinuating that she was in a vehicle of some kind. Her body was found in the woods 20 to 40 miles away from where she was supposed to be in February of this year, 7 months after she went missing. At the scene of that crime in the woods, along with her skeletal remains, the police found a gun that was registered to Miles Bryant, as well as his cell phone was pinging to the cell towers in that area that placed him at that scene. They asked for bond. That judge said, no way. You are a flight risk and a threat to our community. You're going to stay in jail until this trial is over and you are either found guilty or innocent. That is where that trial stands right now. It's a sad, long story we've been covering here for, like I said, about a year, and Susanna Morales' family is still demanding justice, even when they didn't know where she was. Before her body was discovered, they were very active because, of course, their family member is missing, now unfortunately found dead. I want to switch gears really quick for all of you Jordans out there. If you have been filing a tax return or just your taxes in general with the IRS here the last 2 years in Georgia, you once again are subject to what will be a refund, a tax rebate from Governor Kemp, who is going to be opening up a new opportunity for you guys to get some money back on your taxes, which is phenomenal, honestly, I might say. Here's Governor Kemp signing that new declaration, which will be putting $250 back in single filers' pockets and $500 back in joint filers' pockets. Now, the thing is, like I said, you had to have filed your taxes in the state of Georgia for the past 2 years in a row to be eligible for this rebate, and it's coming from basically Georgia's in a really good spot economically. We're making a lot of money. We have a lot of surplus money left over, and so the governor said, why should we keep it? Let's give it back to the people because we're able to pay off everything we need to pay off on a state level. So here comes that money. Governor says it'll take, some weeks for it to get back to you, 6 to 8 weeks. If you've got a electronic deposit, it'll appear right in your bank account like your other taxes, your refunds will do. And if you filed up for mail returns, it'll be a little bit longer because of course, snail mail is just going to take longer. I prefer to just have the direct deposit, honestly. But some people like to keep it, snail mail wise, but 6 to 8 weeks is that timeline looking at for those $250 or $500 refund tax rebates. It is a world away from the money we were getting during the pandemic when it was, $1,200 under President Trump and President Biden. But, it is free money. No complaints. Absolutely. That's coming right to your paychecks. And the last story I want to talk to you guys about is actually a pretty exciting story. It has to do with St. Jude's Hospital, where Atlanta News First is partnering up with a slew of other local agencies and, agencies over from Tennessee, where St. Jude's is located, in order to continue to raise money for this wonderful, wonderful program. what you have is a dream home that is going up for sale, I should say, and you have an opportunity to actually win that house. And all of the money that's being raised in that fundraiser is going right to St. Jude's to continue to allow them to provide financial free care for children with, terrible diseases, who are spending their early childhoods in hospitals instead of in parks. Tracy Hutchins actually went to Tennessee last week or 2 weeks ago, last week, sometime very recently, and she was inside St. Jude's Hospital, where she says it is St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, I should say, where she said it was a very emotional time to see those kids and those families in the positions that they were. Here, take a listen. I apologize there, guys. There was no audio on that story, but what I will do is walk you through a little bit of exactly what this process is and what it looks like, because it is a phenomenal program that we are running here at Atlanta News First. So basically, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, they go above and beyond to do everything they can to provide for kids all over the country. Kids in some of the worst conditions are being given free health care inside that hospital. And what we're doing with this house, particularly this dream home, I should say, is allowing everybody to participate in winning that dream home right here in the area in Georgia. And you have to buy a ticket, basically, and the ticket sales are going on. And if you buy that ticket, you reserve your ticket. May 11th, they open up. You are eligible for not only the chance to win that $650,000 house, but also a slew of other prizes, like a Delta Dream Vacation or a 2023 Dodge Hornet. The list goes on and on and on. And so you can jump right in and make a difference, make an impact, use your money to make a difference, honestly. It is an incredible opportunity for everybody to participate in saving kids just like these, kids that really need this help. Now, the Dream Home giveaway has raised more than $600 million since 1991, and it continues to grow. Atlanta News First, we're partnering with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, trying to raise $1 million for the organization that, like I said, gives back to all these kids that you're looking at right here, families all around the globe. This is the very first one in Atlanta, though. So we now have the opportunity to reserve the tickets to win the home. Like I said, $650,000. In this economy, a free house? Come on, guys. Now, the winners are going to be announced August 3rd, so we've got a long timeline between now and then. But those ticket sales, again, May 11th is when it all goes down. Our Atlanta News First anchor, Tracy Hutchins, is going to actually be out at the house live doing some field anchoring out there. So if you tune in next Thursday, you'll be able to watch her at this house, see this house that you could win, you could be given, because all of those ticket purchases, again, all that money going right to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. And it is going to be an incredible opportunity for Atlanta News First and all of you guys to get involved with what has been a monumental research fundraising program that's gone on for decades and decades there at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. More details to come. You can find more details as far as the ticket prices, the sign up, what you can do to get involved right now on atlantanewsfirst.com/dreamhome. It's there on our website. It's there on the Atlanta News First app, and we will continue to provide coverage on air, online. You will see a lot of it in the coming days, and it will not stop following May 11th. I promise you that. Maybe you, one of you guys right now watching this, will be able to walk away, or walk into, I should say, that dream home. That's all I've got for you guys tonight. I want to toss it over to our meteorologist, Patrick Pete, who's been tracking what's been some wacky weather, because honestly, waking up this morning and getting what 50s last night, 58, 60s, whatever it was, that was some pretty crazy stuff to have that happening in the metro in May.
Yeah, definitely unseasonably cool. We've been watching and talking about at least on some level, this omega block pattern that has been really dominating our forecast. And essentially, what's happened is an area of low pressure is set up to our north, and it's just been funneling in northwesterly flow, and that's brought in cooler than average temperatures. On a side note, this type of setup also could add, or in some situations, could bring in storm opportunities every day. Thankfully, our dew points are so low and the placement of this system is just right that we're actually just getting cooler, dry air and actually some pretty sunny weather for the next couple of days. So let's talk about the temperature trends. I'll drop this lower third for you. And what you can see is that bar at the top of the screen, 78 degrees. That's where we should be every afternoon. You can look at the forecast through Sunday. Yeah, we're not going to get there. I think we're going to get very close to it Saturday, and there's a slight chance that we could inch that forecast up a couple of degrees. There is some hints at some southerly flow, or that's going to help bump those numbers up. We're going to have to continue to watch that. Looks like we're going to have a lot of clouds around. There's a spotty shower opportunity here. Not really feeling too confident with bumping it any higher than 76 for that reason. But that's going to be our best chance at getting to a seasonal number. So these unseasonably cool temperatures will continue to linger. We're also going to be tracking some breezy winds. The winds were gusting 30, 35 miles per hour at times today. And that's going to continue to be the case at times for parts of your Tuesday. There's that area of low pressure that's set up to the north of us, and you can see that's how it's going to funnel in a northerly component to the wind. So that's going to be cooler, drier air heading into the day parts tomorrow. Now, guidance is also trying to hint at a short wave. Essentially, the best way to explain a short wave is think of a short wave as a bump in the atmosphere. Whenever there's a bump in the atmosphere, there's lift. So whenever you have lift, you'll get clouds. Depending on how steep of a bump that is, you'll get more clouds and maybe even some rain. Right now, it's just not looking like that bump is that aggressive. So although this one model in particular is trying to bring in some spotty sprinkles tomorrow afternoon, I'm not buying that, and it's not even in my forecast. Sunny skies for the morning, and mostly sunny skies as we push into the afternoon. You can see there's that bump in the atmosphere trying to bring in some spotty sprinkles in extreme North Georgia. Not looking too likely. I'm just not seeing the dynamics for that. But what we are tracking are temperatures that are going to be, yet again, a little chilly in the morning. I think kids are going to want to have that lighter jacket at the bus stop tomorrow. And if you're like me, that lighter jacket is probably going to be a theme throughout the day, because despite temperatures getting into the mid to upper 60s through the afternoon, those winds are going to be gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour at times. So just like today, there was kind of that element of chill out there, even though it was gorgeous. That's going to be in the cards for parts of the day tomorrow. Let me swing to Facebook real quick to see what's up. Max is there. Good afternoon, or actually good evening, Max. Tom's there as well. Good evening, Tom. Swing over to YouTube, where there are several of you that are watching us on YouTube. I'm not going to say all of your names because, YouTube screen names aren't always appropriate. And then good evening to everybody that's joining us at home, whether you're watching us on Roku or on any of our other streaming platforms. So we're talking about being in the 60s through the afternoon. The car wash forecast is looking great as far as just getting your car washed, but with those temperatures and those winds, I'm not getting out there with a soap and a bucket. So if you're going through the manual car wash, green light. Taco Tuesday forecast, the numbers are going to be slightly chilly, but I think pretty manageable for the day. Lots of folks were not happy with the 80s that we had last month, so hopefully you can enjoy the upper 60s and low 70s, because that's what we're tracking the next couple of days. Another sunny start to the forecast on Wednesday morning. Temperatures yet again in the 40s, so we're all going to need jackets again. And I know, listen, it's May, so I know a lot of y'all are gearing up for Cinco de Mayo later this week, and you probably have already rotated your closets and, put the hoodies and stuff up. The jackets are far away to the back, and you've had the shorts and the tank tops and all that good stuff. It's all out at the front. Yeah, unfortunately, Mother Nature is just not really feeling that. So just hopefully you can grab that light jacket yet again. Continue to keep it near the door, at least for the next couple of days. Low 60s at around lunchtime on Wednesday afternoon. And then we'll see those numbers get into the upper 60s. Some locations will hit 70 on Wednesday. I think we'll get there here in Atlanta, and then we're cooling back down heading into the evening. So, being that the forecast is so nice and dry, there's not a lot to talk about for the work week. Things are improving by Thursday, where we get into the mid-70s across parts of the state, and then by Friday, excuse me, this is getting better. I don't know if you guys were with us Thursday and Friday. I had a couple of coughs then. Body is, getting its act together, getting adjusted to this Georgia air. The pollen has been a little crazy. But here's the look at that 7-day. We'll see more clouds build in Thursday and Friday. We have a 20% chance of showers on Friday, but I think it's going to be really isolated. And the only parts of the region that look to get some of those isolated showers on Friday are well north of the Atlanta metro. So we're talking about our extreme northern counties of the state touching the Tennessee border. That's where the best chance for those spotty showers are. Meanwhile, the rain chances do start to ramp up by Sunday. Sunday looks like we'll probably see some rain that's going to put a damper, or at least on parts of the day. And if I had to choose a day where I think rain's going to be most widespread, that looks to be Monday. That's still 7 days away. I know if you guys are with us a lot with forecasting, but once you get 5 days, you can be pretty certain of what's going on, as long as there's not any wrenches as far as temperature equating into that. And I mean like winter forecasting. But once you get to day 7, you kind of want to wait a day or two. That's the only reason the rain chances are at 30%. We just need to see more data on that, getting a little bit closer to that time frame. I could easily see those rain chances going up on Monday, and I could easily see us issuing a first alert. So you'll want to stick with us as we fine-tune that forecast. Listen, good time to download the First Alert weather app, because while conditions are dry, you can actually get used to how it works. There are a lot of settings in there that you can go in there and change. You can get different watches, different warnings, different alerts, turn them on, turn them off. For sure, keep the GPS location on, because let's say you and your family decide to go to Florida. There's a thunderstorm on the way. You're at the beach. We're going to tell you, hey, there's some lightning strikes a half a mile away, 2 miles away. This will follow you wherever you go. We'll keep you updated, and we'll look at where you are and give you the forecast hour by hour, and of course alert you to any weather alerts that are in that location as well. So it's good to have for the road. Meanwhile, I'm going to leave you with the 7-day forecast for the road, which is showing these numbers that are going to gradually trend into the 70s over the next couple of days. And then we're going to be watching the end of the week, the second half of the forecast, for those rain opportunities. That don't look overwhelming right now for either day this weekend. Sunday looks like our best chance at getting rain this weekend, and then Monday looks to be the wettest day of the period. So newscast coming up at 9 today and tomorrow. It's our slots are a little bit different, but I'll be with you guys at 9 on Peachtree TV, and then you can catch meteorologist Fred Campagna at 10 o'clock on Peachtree TV, or if you're out eating or whatever, you can turn on the TV at 11, and he's going to be on Atlanta News First. You guys have a great day, and we will see you on TV.